All right, we're rolling.
Go ahead.
My first story, I guess, is about coming out in Baton Rouge. My name is Ruth Sullivan. I was working as a weekend director and master control operator during prime time, during the week. And anyway, the AIDS had just started, and no one knew what caused it. No one knew where it was coming from, but all they knew is that all the gay men in San Francisco were getting this cancer and then dying off quickly. And it seemed like the first time I heard about it was when half the gay population was already dead. So to me, it was something I was keeping abreast of, and noticing more every day how people had changed their opinions about gay and bisexual people. It was just very negative. Anyway, so it was a happy closet case. And one weekend, it was a Friday going into the weekend, the storyline read queer disease. And I had a problem with that, but they wouldn't have put the N word up there or anything like that, but they had no problem putting the word queer. So I wasn't offended by that, but that was just the beginning, because later that evening they were going over what they were doing. The news anchors were discussing what would show at 10, and the anchorman said, well, all those queers should be lined up and shot. And I was at the other end of the control room, so no, actually it was the newsroom, and I heard him say that, and my jaw just dropped, and I just blurted out, well, Jay, I'm queer, are you going to shoot me? And you could hear a pin drop. It was like, so I repeated myself to make sure everybody heard. Jay, I'm queer. Are you gonna line me up and shoot me? And he goes, oh no, Ruth, I meant some blah blah blah. He was back stepping the whole way. He was embarrassed to be caught by showing, I think, his bigotry just in general, because I don't know, I think news personalities are thought to be a little bit more liberal and open sort of people than they were. So that's what that's how I came out in Baton Rouge. How'd you know?
Well, it sort of was a long process. I just wanted to comment on, tag in on what you're talking about the gay male population being decimated in San Francisco. I have a younger brother who is about Ruth's age, and he was a bartender in San Francisco, and he saw literally, he said, I think 500 or so of his friends died. It was an entire generation of gay men died, and he always assumed that he was going to die too, so he didn't care if he racked up credit card debts and took bankruptcy and stuff. And they'd send him another one and he'd do it again. But he just always assumed that he would die, so he never planned for the future. Well, he's now still alive and happy, living on a few acres out north of Sacramento.
20 years later.
20 years later. But he's HIV, and all of his boyfriends died, but he never got full-blown AIDS. And one of some people, even in the medical community, call that San Francisco's dirty little secret, which is impossible to document because of the disbursement of the people. But it turns out that a lot of the men who were alcoholics and on meth are still alive. It's like some chemical combination just would not allow the virus to grab hold. So it's an interesting notion that floats that will never be able to be proven or not. My own coming out story was, well, sort of, I came out a little bit and then went back and then came out. As I was working at the telephone company, and I ended up having an affair with my supervisor. And we worked graveyard shift. And we go over to her mother's dry cleaners at our lunch hour to go over. We have to go pick up my dry cleaning. Claudia, you want to come? Yeah, I'm coming. I'll with you. So in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning, we go to the dry cleaners and and make out, you know. And then her husband, who worked swing shift, knew that something was going on, but he didn't know what. But he knew that if he wanted to save his family, he had to move them away somewhere. So he packed up his family and moved them out of state. And then I sort of went back into the closet and putzed around until I left the Bay Area and went to Oregon to go to school. At which time I hooked up with a bunch of radical lesbians at Reed College, and they're like, you know, they were very radical. And then from there I discovered women's softball, and things settled into this sort of a happy, gay, athletic experience.
Is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, story.
The wedding story?
No.
Guess we could talk about the wedding story.
I'm going to try and move this just a little because it has, I just noticed it's got a bubble here that I'm supposed to, that means
It's supposed
it's,
to be on the bubble.
yeah, it's supposed to be in the middle, I
Well, I
assume.
told you it was crooked.
Yes, you did. You were so right.
Any attention?
You were very right.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay, we're good now.
Good.
And the bubble's in the middle.
You want to get the that picture for me?
Yes.
And Claudia, would you mind getting the wedding thing?
No, I wouldn't mind.
Good. Because I can hold that up for you in front of the camera, and you can get a full screen of it. Why? You telling me?
Oh, there, that's good.
Okay.
We got it. This is Claudia and Ruth's wedding picture.
I had just come out of the hospital, so I had no hair whatsoever. And I've been battling ovarian cancer for a couple of years now. Maybe I should show you the
We got married in West Hollywood on the weekend that the city of West Hollywood set up a bunch of gazebos or cabanas